Okay, everybody. Real Deal is back, and today I have some breaking news. I've got a lot of other stories that I've got on the burner that I'm working up some videos to do, but this one I just got resolved. So I want to bring you the breaking news as soon as I have it, even though it's almost old news, but it's new news for those. Anyway, I know I'm confused. I'm not confused, I'm confusing, but I've got breaking news that goes back a few months. I'm sorry I wasn't able to get you the story sooner, but it was not available. And only today did I make it so. I went to Air District Court today to find out what was going on with this case. As you might recall, if you've been following me for a while or if you've watched videos as a new subscriber and gone back to see what I reported on, you might know that I told you a story about a guy by the name of Tad Rochette. Thaddeus Rochette, a former police officer here in Townsend, Massachusetts. And he retired like normal. And then couple years somewhere after he retired, he had the bad fortune of getting arrested. Well, I'm not going to go deep into details. I would like you to go back to some of my other videos on the topic, and I will put the links to those videos in the description of this video once I publish it. So you can go back and get the history. If this is the only video you're watching, you might get confused. I mean, it's interesting, but it's not that interesting. It's more interesting if you can watch the other. I think there's two other videos. One when I just reported on it, and the second one I went to his hearing. So let's fast forward to the hearing date, which was March 31st of this year, March 31st, 2025, at Air District Court. And I was going to change the background, I forgot. Too late. Actually, it's not. No, I'll leave it. Decisions. Anyway, whatever. I'm giving you the story. It's Townsend Town Hall behind me, and that's just how it's going to be. So Tad actually sued the state. The state retirement board they notified him. They made a decision that they were going to take his pension, that he was going to lose his retirement pension as a police officer because he was arrested. And he was found guilty, actually. There were a bunch of other charges, and all of them got dismissed except one. The one charge that he had was he was convicted on is impersonating a police officer. So comparatively, if you knew all the other charges, there was weapons charges, and it was just a mess. But he was found not guilty of everything else. And at first, when I heard that, I'm like, well, okay, that's almost comical, almost. But how can a retired cop get arrested for impersonating a police officer? Come on. And well, he was. He was arrested, charged, and this all happened in Townsend. So his own department did this. So, as I reported before, I think that raises concerns. Like, oh, God, I thought cops had each other's back. Not in this case. So they charged him with impersonating a police officer. Wow. And when somebody gets arrested, when you're a retired employee, the issue is less that he was an actual cop, but more that he was an employee, and he was arrested and charged and found guilty of a crime related to his previous employment. So he was a retired cop. He was arrested for impersonating a cop. Therefore, there's a relationship. And that was what the state retirement board said. And when they made a decision, the retirement board has hearings and they have meetings and they do a lot of stuff. And they had determined that he was not entitled to keep his pension. So they took it. And of course, immediately, that is his bread and butter. And he's got a lot of financial obligations, which he had provided in his court case. But in the end of the day, he had a hearing in the part of his suit. That hearing was March 31st. I was there. I went in person. It was held in person, although the attorney for the Mass Retirement Board was on Zoom, but it was on Zoom or phone. I don't know what it was. I don't remember if I saw him or just heard his voice. But Todd was there, his lawyer was there, and whatever other cases were pending in the courtroom. And the judge heard both Todd's lawyer present her case, which I thought was pretty convincing, actually. But not being a lawyer, you hear things and you go, how did that happen? But there's laws, and, us lay people don't know what we're doing. And the states, the attorney for the retirement board really didn't present much of a case. I didn't seem that he did. He had, the file was thick with evidence on both sides. I think most of the evidence was actually provided by Tad. He was trying to show, he was pulling out every rabbit out of every hat in his filings to get somebody to save his retirement for him. So, March 31st comes and when the hearing was done, the judge didn't make a ruling from the bench. She said she took it under advisement. So this is now July 31st. And I just kept checking the court website to see, what's the status of his case. And it, up until today, under advisement, it just never changed. This doesn't make sense that the court would just not make a decision for all these months. What is it? April, May, June, July. 4 months you'd let this sit? He was getting paid his retirement. I don't know if they're just going to stop it now because I walked in the courthouse. I hope I'm not that important. But the judge had made a decision and it never got filed. It never got docketed, as they say. How that impacts the law, I don't know. But, oh boy. So when I went into the courthouse, I'm asking for this. I'm like, there's got to be a decision on this case. And they were very nice. And I was trying, as nice as, when you want something from the court, you got to be really nice. Because they don't have to. They do, but they don't have to make it easy on you. And, when I go into the courthouse, I ask for stuff that I want right now. I don't want to do public records requests and wait forever. If I had done a public records request on this, I wouldn't have gotten it. Honestly, and I'll tell you why in a moment. I had sent them an email almost 2 months ago. And they never even responded to me. I don't know. I didn't pursue that because they should have at least told me no record, So it doesn't exist. Nothing. Didn't respond. So I'm like, whatever. So either story they could have, and I didn't address that when I went today. I just want the record. See if I can get how much do I have to beg to get this? So they brought the chart out. Oh, the chart, it's a file. And I was in healthcare, so everything's a chart, a file. And I'm like, And the guy showed me this document on top, and I'm like, that's a motion. No, that's the hearing. It's got to be a decision in here. And so somebody else came over and they started fishing through it a little bit, and they found the decision. Well, oh, she denied the motion. I'm like, which motion? And what do you mean? Which motion? We had a whole hearing and the whole bit. It's over. It should be over. She was just, you know, and they checked what the computer had. And so they fished down a few more pages and found the decision. And the clerk was really confused. I mean, I'm confused because, okay, which motion? Where are we? Is it, who won the case? And apparently, the judge had made a decision. Get this date, April 1st. We had the hearing on the 31st, and the next day, the judge had made her decision and signed it, wrote it down, April 1st, 2025. And it never got docketed. It never got put on in the system. So I don't know what's happening with Tad. And I'm sorry, Tad, if it's my fault, if you've been getting your pension all along and I just ended that party, I'm sorry. I mean, I don't know how they're going to do it. Certainly hope they wouldn't take back pay, but I don't know. I'm sure PIRAC has been it's the retirement people. I'm sure they would have. I mean, the clerk was trying to figure out how come nobody's called about that. You're the first person that asked about this. Apparently, I don't know. I've been watching the retirement board's website too, and because they have meetings and they report on what's going on to the board or however they do that. And it hasn't come up yet. Their minute, they haven't posted their minutes like everybody else, and I'm baffled. So I had no way of knowing. I haven't checked in at least a couple weeks, but I'll probably check after this video and see what they have to say. I should have checked before. Sorry, we won't have their information, but I can't imagine that they're sitting waiting. It doesn't make sense. They would have had more anxiety about this, and I'm sure Tad would have had anxiety about this. Somebody had to have inquired about this. That the judge is still under advisement? No way. And July 3rd, I said, there is just no way. It's too long. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to show you the decision. How about that? And this is district court. These are not big cases. So a lot of times what judges do, they give opinions, they make judgments, decisions, and they write it in the margin. So, you have this big case and it's your whole life is on the line, right? And the judge writes something in the margin. Everybody's typing volumes, formal documents, using legal standards and words and case law and all this fancy printing, and it's to get your case heard, and you go through all this stuff, and the judge writes something in the margin to make their decision. It's like, can you type something up? I mean, have somebody type it, write it out and have it typed and make it formal. No, here's your decision. Man. Anyway, let me show you this. No, I'm going to do it this way. Here we go. Hopefully you can see this. Let me see if I can pull it up a little bit better. I don't know. All right. Basically, I'm going to read. We're going to just go down this a little bit. This is actually what we're looking at. The typed part of this document is Tad's. Nope, I'm sorry. Tad is the plaintiff in this case. It gets confusing. But Tad Rochette is the plaintiff. And the Mass County Retirement System is the defendant because Tad was suing them. So the retirement system, I keep calling them the state, it's really the county, but the retirement board made a motion. I'm going to read it. I can get there. Defendant's motion for judgment on the pleadings. Pursuant to General Law 32, Section 16.3, the plaintiff, Thaddeus G. Rochette, has requested this honorable court's review of the June 2024 decision of the defendant, Middlesex County Retirement System Board, to forfeit the plaintiff's public employee retirement allowance under the provisions of General Law 32, Section 15.4, as a result of his conviction in the Lowell District Court of the offense of impersonating a police officer in violation of Mass General Law, Chapter 268-33, as his criminal offense involved a violation of the laws applicable to the plaintiff's former position as a police officer for the town of Townsend. For the reasons set forth below, Plaintiff Tad Rochette's motion for judgment on the pleading should be denied, and the defendant, Middlesex County Retirement System's motion for judgment on the pleading should be allowed, which the retirement board was asking for this whole thing to be a kibosh and let them continue to deny him his retirement money. In support of this motion, the defendant states that decision of June 20, 2024 to forfeit the plaintiff's retirement allowance is supported by substantial evidence and is not based on error of law. I'm going to read the decision, then I'm going to go to the plaintiff's motion for judgment. Okay, what the judge had to say, it's the handwriting that's on this piece of paper, but it's hard to read because it's handwriting and it's actually a photograph document. I was too lazy to put it in my scanner. All right, the defendant's motion is allowed. That's the county retirement system's motion. The defendant's motion is allowed, underline, for the reasons set forth on the defendant's memorandum and at oral arguments on 3/31/25. Furthermore, the court does not find, based on the evidence and the relevant case law, that the defendant has violated the plaintiff's Eighth Amendment rights. Further, his rights by forfeiting his pension, so ordered, Judge Maida, 4/1/2025. So what this says, the decision says in English, Tad Rochette, retired police officer from the town of Townsend, had his pension forfeited. And this, I think he's appealing. I'm sure I'm going to check the appellate court. That's what I'm going to do. Because that would tell me if he's filed an appeal, which I haven't done. I got to do that. I'll do it while we're here on the video. But first, I'm going to tell you, it says, where's the plaintiff's Eighth Amendment rights come into it? On a previous video on this case, I had told you that the Eighth Amendment is what he was claiming. It's cruel and unusual. Punishment is overstated. His punishment exceeds a reasonable person should suffer for the crime. And the judge disagrees. But I'm going to pull up, let me go back here. I'm going to get this out of here. Then I'm going to hold the phones. I'm going to bring up the other page so you can see what, which one do I want? Oh, this one. Is that the one? That's the one. Let's see, make this bigger. Plus. Okay. Whoops. Okay. Then I got to come back over here. Share the screen. This will just take me a second. Relax. Let's see. There it is. Nope. That's not it. This one. Yeah. Share. This is it. Okay. That's what we got. Let me double check. Yes. Okay. Back to preview. All right. Same case. I'll read the Tad's lawyer's brief motion. It's the plaintiff, Ted Rochette, cross moves for judgment on the pleadings. The plaintiff incorporates by reference the arguments set forth in his opposition to defendant's motion for judgment on the pleadings. The arguments in his opposition demonstrate not only why judgment should not be granted to the defendant, but also why judgment should be granted to the plaintiff on those same claims. The plaintiff respectfully requests that the court enter judgment for the plaintiff. And again, the plaintiff is Tad. And on this motion, shorter version from Judge Maida, the plaintiff's motion is denied after hearing. Case closed. So there we go. Close window. That's it. Okay. So that's the story. He has officially lost his pension. But stand. In fact, I'm going to pause this video and come back. Okay, I paused this video for a moment so I could go check the appellate courts. I didn't want you waiting. People get bored and they hang up. So I went over to the Mass Appellate Courts and checked to see if he had a filing, and he has not filed to appeal this case. So either everybody's been stagnant and just waiting on this docketing of the judgment. Again, sorry, Tad, if it's my fault that you're stopping your pension today. But I did speak to him on the day of the court hearing. And the best I could guess is that his intent was to appeal. And he hasn't yet. I don't know how much time you have after a case like this. So I don't know. But there is no case. No case has been filed by anybody by his name. So he has officially lost his pension. And I mean, I've had mixed feelings about this since the case was first filed, when I first found out that this is what was going on. And it's, I guess, that the judgment, the judge determined this case based on strictly a matter of law. And that's their job, I guess, to use the law. And she did. If we're going to put a motion into it, courts, sometimes courts don't like particular types of defendants. And from what, I can't accuse them of anything, but my guesstimate, my sense of reality is that courts don't like bad cops. And since he was convicted of, he went through the process. And one of the things that even that the judge said is like, we can't retry his case here. It's, that he's been convicted of this crime. And so she can't undermine that. Whatever decision she was going to make could not be based on whether or not he broke the law enough. It had to be based on, what does the law say about the crime you're convicted of and what we do going forward. And I think that the law is what she used, not emotion. But she couldn't, I don't know. I don't want to go. He had a lot of evidence that other judges in different cases had treated plaintiffs differently or kinder, that thinking pulling one's pension is extreme. He's in his 60s and now he doesn't have income, and in case you didn't know it, they don't get Social Security. If you're on the state retirement, you don't get Social Security unless you have other employment. If you got you got to have 40 quarters to get unemployment. What's 40 quarters? 10 years. The equivalent of 10 years of full-time employment somewhere else that you pay into Social Security. So state employees don't get that. So when you lose your retirement as a state employee, that's it. That is all she wrote. So, my purpose in this breaking news video was to just bring you up to speed on this case that Tad has. I'm still kind of in shock, and I mean, I shouldn't have been. I mean, could have gone either way. So, you know, we found it in the chart. I'm like kind of speechless in the court. I mean, the clerks, they can't get, opinionated on cases or interpret anything. It's like, oh my God. And I just spit out some of the case. I'm like, oh God, he was a cop and he lost his pension. This is wow. And I mean, they see all kinds of tragic stories in that court. But anyway, I'm venting a little bit. But I mean, this is how it ends. If he's got an appeal in him, he hasn't filed it yet. His lawyer could have advised him that it might not be worth the money. Well, he probably doesn't have any money now. And this is a civil case. It's not like it's a criminal case anymore, where he could get a public defender, even whether or not the public defenders are on strike. But, yep. Okay. So what I'll do is I'm going to get ready to shut this video down. And once I get this video fully published, I will put the links in for the other videos. Or they're on my channel. You go back. I mean, there's one probably around April 1st, either March 31st, April 1st. And then I don't remember when the one was before that. But you can find it. I only have like 200 videos total posted. So you can find the two Tad videos. One's got a background of the Townsend police station, and one has a background of your district court. In case you're just going by what's it look like. So you'll find it. But I'll put the links in once I get it situated, and you'll be able to stream the whole story. I'm not going to bore you with all the details. So if you really want to know, you're going to have to watch the old videos. I'm not going to do it for you. So thank you. I need more views on all those videos. Come on, help me out. Speaking of helping me out, I would really appreciate it if you would like this video, share this video, and if you haven't already done so, subscribe to my channel. All of those actions help the algorithm, help my videos, all of them get more views. People are able, because of the weird YouTube algorithm, more people get access because there's millions of videos on this thing. YouTube has millions of videos. And to get everybody to see my videos it's not that easy. I need some help. I'm not monetized. If you do want to donate, again, in the description will give you ways that you can throw some pennies at me. Someday I'll get up to the speed where I can do memberships. That'll be cool. And then I have perks, and then, we can go down that road. But I'm not there yet. Not there. I'm just doing silly videos now for my own enjoyment, or to inform you, to keep the public informed of what's really going on in this wild town that we live in, and wild state and country. Boy, don't get me going. All right, I'm going to end this video now. So thank you very much for watching. I really appreciate your support, and I will see you on the next video, and there will be one soon. Thank you. We got to end with more music. Where is it? Is that right there? There it is. All right. Do you like it? Let me know. Let me know in the comments whether you like this music that I'm using right now. I'm playing with some of the access. There's a lot of YouTube music I can use, and I'm just trying to find the ones that fit my channel, and that I like. All right, so let me know in the comments. When I change music up, let me know that too. You can hear me over the music. Okay. I got to turn the music off before I turn the video off. All right. See you later.